Rolling around at the speed of sound. Got places to go. Gotta follow my rainbow. Can't stick around. Have to keep moving on. Guess what lies ahead? Only one way to find out. Must keep on moving ahead. No time for guessing. Follow my plan instead. Trusting in what you can't see. Take my lead. I'll set you free. Michael, what did you make me play?
Go fast, blow everything up, or relax and take your time collecting. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle has it all and doesn't do any of it perfectly. Knowing this thing exists in general is just a time capsule of goodness. I wouldn't recommend it per se, but I did enjoy myself when I wasn't overly frustrated. This game will surprise you in almost every aspect, good and bad. This is a pack-filled adventure, different story arcs, multiplayer, cute critters, and a lot to complete. So those looking for a hefty game for content, this can be worth your time, especially if you love that Blue Hedgehog and company. So let's talk about this for a bit. Welcome to Bits of Time, where we ask a simple question: is this video game worth your time?
Last time this season.
I erupted my little spiel.
That's what I did.
So it's what you did, yeah. I'm not moving very fast. I'm sitting here talking to you as your host, Michael.
Clever one. I don't know if
that's clever.
I don't know if it's clever, but that was worthy of the last one of the season. Yeah.
Smacking you in the face with them knuckles.
And I will eventually get my name out. I am Larry. I'm the other host. So obviously, we both did different for the intro for this week. This was a weird game.
This is a very strange game.
And I feel like I'm not trying to get Sonic people to hate me, but I feel like the word that came to mind when I sat down to look at my notes was cringe.
Cringe. Oh.
And I don't know why. I don't understand the world of Sonic. I really, really don't understand it. And playing this game made me realize that, like, it's weird to me that there is a world outside of Sonic. I don't know. You can get into the history and stuff. We'll dive into it. But
I mean, that's probably a good way. Well, history-wise, with each of us, I've played only the 2D versions.
Same.
So I played Sonic on the Game Gear, Sonic 2, and then Sonic and Knuckles actually at our neighbor's house, our old babysitter. That's the first time I got exposure to that, and I enjoyed that quite a bit.
The good old Game Gear, though.
Yeah, no.
That was
the battery eater.
Well, yeah, but that was the Game Gear. Wasn't that what they used to give that, or they would give it to us? Is it the Game Gear at like Denny's or Perkins or something?
I think it was Perkins, and yeah, it was either a Game Boy you could play Tetris or a Game Gear you could play Sonic.
Yeah.
Just a wild time that we used to live in.
It was almost like back then they knew this is the device required to keep kids entertained.
Yeah. So this is my first 3D Sonic game.
Same.
So So just know that going in, we did not play the first one, Sonic Adventure, on the Dreamcast. So we played Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, which is the port of Sonic Adventure 2 from the Dreamcast.
Is that why you picked this game, by the way? Because typically when we haven't played a game, it's weird that we didn't jump into the first one.
Yeah, from what I read, they said this was the best one or the best iteration of it. The weird part is review scores are wonky in general, but it originally got an 89 on Dreamcast, and it got a 73 on the GameCube. And when I did a bunch of the research, people are like, there's some odd things with the port, but that is a significant drop in.
Yeah, that's massive.
So I don't know why it's so low. And they did the same thing with Sonic Adventure DX, which was a port of the original Sonic Adventure for the GameCube, and that also got way lower than the Dreamcast one. So.
And you're confusing me with all these names already.
That's that. I finished Sonic Adventure 2 Battle in 9 hours and 55 minutes and 37 seconds.
And I finished in 56 minutes and 46 seconds.
So obviously he did not finish the game. And let me tell you, I suck at this game. We'll get to it in the quick bits, but actually, no, I think I should probably talk about it now just to preference everything. This is my first 3D Sonic game. We're not huge Sonic fans, but I am happy I played this game. I died 96 times. What the actual heck? That included 7 game overs where I had to restart completely. I collected 34 of the 180 emblems. Total rings was 2,324. And I only got 2 A rankings. I had 2 B rankings and then a mishmash of C, D, and E's.
This is like FromSoft does Sonic.
9 hours, almost 10 hours, and I died 96 times. That is ridiculous.
I don't know if knowing this is making me feel any better about our when we went head to head in battle mode. Like, for the most part, you beat me every time. So I'm not feeling too good about myself right now.
Yeah, so there's that, but let's get into the remainder of the history. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle was developed by Sonic Team USA and published by Sega for the Nintendo GameCube on February 11th, 2002. This is an enhanced port of the original game on the Dreamcast. And I got a little interview thing from a magazine, which I think...
Real quick, though, I'm going to interrupt you. Is that really the name of the studio?
Sonic Adventure USA, yeah. Or Sonic Team USA, not Sonic Adventure.
But, like, that just seems so not clever. Like, what?
I feel like you kind of do that.
A studio name?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Well, they're probably Sonic Team in Japan. They're like, well, how do we differentiate in USA?
I don't know. It's just, you figure, like the people who make Halo, right? They're not Halo Studio. It's 343.
Well, it's Sonic Team. I didn't say studio.
Oh, they're not their own studio?
No, I said developed by Sonic Team. They are.
I guess the
call
name
it that.
Oh, okay. They have their own name for their own studio then.
Sonic Team USA.
Well, okay, that's my thing. Why, it's weird that the name of your studio is the game you're working on. Like, what if they decide to make something?
No, they're only going to make something. I mean, 343 is
really
lodged into Halo, if you think about it.
I know, but they're not called Halo Studio.
Yeah, that's true. Why do you keep saying studio? I keep saying team.
Whatever. The team studio is the same. Let's move on.
Yeah. Okay. So this is an excerpt from Retro Gamer, a magazine from June 23rd, 2011. So this is after the game has come out. Quite a bit. Almost 10 years. And this is an interview with the director of the game, Takashi Iizuka. Yeah, that sounds right. Takashi Iizuka.
Okay.
So I couldn't find the name of the person who's asking these questions. So whoever you are, Retro Gaming Magazine 2011, sorry. Sonic Adventure and its sequel are still well regarded as the best 3D Sonic games. Why do you think that is? And so the director. It's hard to say why they're so well regarded, but for Sonic Adventure, it was an ambitious project and the team tried lots of ideas and crammed it with as much content as we could. When it came time to make the sequel, we looked at the first game and realized there were a few elements that didn't need to be there. So in Sonic Adventure 2, we concentrated on only the concepts that were necessary. The sequel is much more refined and composed version of Sonic Adventure, and in a way, I think that it's one of the better made Sonic games and the closest we've come to a perfect 3D Sonic.
Ooh, okay. So, and that was the word I was going to use. It sounds like they refined what they did. So Sonic Adventures 1 seems like it's much more ambitious, and then they cleaned up all the messy bits.
Which is interesting, because this game has so much.
Which kind of makes you wonder what in the world.
So that makes me more intrigued to play the first one now, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I have it on my Dreamcast, so probably going to give it a go one of these days. I'm just so confused by that, because they said they refined everything. There's so much content in this game. It is astounding.
Yeah, there is to me, it almost feels like there's too much, and we'll get into like some of the different modes and things like that. It's just, this game was, when you told me we were going to play a Sonic game, and I sat down and I started playing this, I was like, what is going on? I don't understand. And perhaps liking the characters helps a lot. And I think this game has one of the cooler characters in the Sonic universe, and I think it definitely has one of the worst characters that I don't understand why it exists in this universe.
Say them.
So I just think Knuckles is awesome.
Oh, yeah, Knuckles is great.
Tails is a pointless...
Tails is great.
You know what? Maybe... And here's the thing. I think maybe Tails is better in other Sonic games that I've seen.
Hey,
Tails is... I can't stand the character in this game. Maybe it's the voice. The voice is ridiculous.
I mean, you always have strange opinions, so I'm not going to take you into account too much on this one, but...
That's such a subtle shot.
So one of the main things is there are 3 types of levels, and when I talk about there's a bunch of content, there's 3 different story arcs. So there's the hero side, then there's the bad guy side. I think they call it Dark. I can't remember. And then once you beat both of those, then you unlock the third and final arc, which is pretty cool. So in the Sonic and in Shadow levels, you're racing down. It's basically kind of like a race level, going through the level, trying to not get hit, make it to the end, fight a boss. Then you have the Tails levels where you're in that machine and you're just highlighting with missiles and blowing things up. And then Knuckles is more the 3D adventure collectathon type of thing. You're looking for emerald crystals or whatever you are for each level. What's your favorite? What's your least favorite? What do you like?
Yeah, so I feel like it was weird, right? I thought that maybe just the fast-paced nature of like Sonic, actually just getting to be Sonic, would have been the part that I enjoyed the most. But I actually thought the controls, the word I'm going to use for this game is janky. There's a weird floaty. I feel like I've used that term a couple times in this season, but like there's something a little off about the speed in this game, and it's possible it's just I'm terrible at it. But
I would say there is not a counter that. I don't think there's anything wrong with the speed. There is something with the controls a little bit. It's not as precise as I want it to be.
Maybe it's momentum. Because like,
that's my problem with Sonic in general. You gain so much speed, but when you hit one enemy or you stop, the momentum to go back into it is so difficult. At least you can do the spin up and start to get your momentum back, but that stop and drop,
it hurts the flow, I think.
Yes.
I notice it a lot in like the rail levels, especially in like the battle mode when we played that. But getting back to your question, I feel like my favorite was the Knuckles bits.
Same here.
And I feel like this is when this game had its moment where I was like, okay, there could be something more to this, and I didn't get enough
you got
of
those
it.
awesome hip hop beats.
Oh my gosh, yeah! I just
the
really
music in this game is so weird.
I didn't realize how much. Yeah, the music. That's why I did my intro. I was like, especially when I started paying attention to the lyrics because I was like, what are they saying? And I'm like,
go,
rolling around at the speed of sound.
I love that.
That gets stuck in your head. But no, the Knuckles portions really were. I was like, that's this game's strong suit. And I was kind of like, okay, this is where I could maybe see this going further, but I never got enough of it. It was never, and I didn't even hate the controls in those sections, which is big for me when it comes to 3D games.
Yes.
And the Tails bits kind of threw me off. And then on top of that, like, again, the momentum or flow factor of the Sonic levels. And I'm sure if you're someone who's really good, the game just flies.
Yeah, I feel like this, if you're trying to speedrun, because it's fast, maybe not even speedrun, but it does, what's the word I'm looking for?
Mike, I will become a multi-billionaire before I speedrun a game. I'm so terrible at games. That's never going to happen.
It rewards you for being good at this game, I feel like. Because if you're not getting hit and you're doing everything right, you're full on to the momentum and you can make it to the end of the level. And I feel like this game does a really good job rewarding you that. I'm just terrible at this game, as you know, from the quick bit stats. So I don't know.
I think that's probably where I tend to always be the type of gamer where whenever a section is timed in a video game, I always get stressed out. And so like I'm not, it's just never something that fits with me. And so I think that's probably why natively just from the offset, I was going to struggle with a game like this. So the fact that time is a big portion of like your score for every single level, it didn't go over well.
Yeah, to no one's surprise, I also like the Knuckles section the best because I like my 3D platforming. I did enjoy, when I wasn't frustrated, the Sonic levels, though.
Okay.
Especially later in the game, there's some really cool ones. One that I died on so many times, but there's like just a series of rails that you go on and jump on and off of, and I just jumped off the map and dropped onto a much lower one to skip like half the level. It was great.
Yeah, so I think the creativity of the level design, the rail portions showed this game off unbelievably well. And I think that's actually probably, if I'm looking at it, taking a step back from my favorite portions, which was the Knuckles parts, I think the rails parts are where this game probably shows its most creativity. And the level design really kicks in. I'm not good at the game, so I didn't like it.
Yeah, I mean, 3D things are bread and butter fun for me, but the tail section is definitely the sour point. I feel like it can be kind of fun, but it's just, I'm just holding down the triggers, locking on everybody with missiles, shooting, going to the next thing, doing a little bit of platforming, and the platforming is not the greatest in that section either.
Okay, so that was the question I had, because you submitted a question to me talking about the hitboxes, and not, like, what do you mean? Because, like,
when you're Sonic and when you're Knuckles, oh my gosh.
Oh, okay, all right. I thought, for some reason, I thought hitboxes, and I instantly thought Tails.
Which
like,
makes
what
sense,
is he talking about? Yeah.
Highlight people, but yeah, I guess we can go there real quick. No, I want to finish my thought.
Okay.
Sonic levels are frustratingly fun. Did say that. But yeah, they do have really cool level designs.
Frustratingly fun.
Yeah, like I got frustrated a lot with it.
But you had fun.
I had, for the most part, I had fun. And the Knuckles levels, later on, you go into this like space one, you're going super high. And like there's a lot of creativity here in each level. And so I think if you're looking for a lot of content, you're going to get it that way just because there's a variety of levels. I never really felt any excitement when I switched over to Tails. It felt very monotonous to me, but so that's the low point for me. But we do need to talk about the hitboxes. That first boss fight when you fight as Sonic, I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I get it. I remember playing the original 2D Sonic games, and they don't have like highlighted things. You just usually have to bump up on somebody or something like that. But in this 3D space, I feel like I had no idea what I was doing, and you just get hit, and then I'm just sitting there collecting the rings, and then I'm trying it again. And I was like, all right, do I have to hit him here?
Yeah, that fight, you actually, I didn't know what to do. And
it's a mech, yeah.
Yeah, so you ended up actually kind of giving me a hint, I remember. So I did forget about that. That is, and especially if you didn't have somebody around, I can understand the frustration. It's a weird frustration, especially to have so early in a game, which you wonder if that threw off people.
Yeah, and I feel like some of the enemies, I'm just like, am I supposed to be hitting them? Like, and I feel like a lot of the times it's based on speed when you're going to do the damage. Otherwise, if you just jump on an enemy, I feel like you just take damage in general.
Yeah, I could definitely see that being a problem.
That maybe I'm just not used to the Sonic games and how they work, but I don't know. It's very strange in this game, the hitboxes. I don't know. That's a problem when you're trying to go super fast and trying to bounce off enemies and stuff.
Well, you think it would have been kind of already put in place because at least for the Tails sections, they gave us kind of the cursor and you were able to tell the auto lock-on feature. So you would have thought that could have at least somewhat transitioned over to the Sonic portions.
And sometimes when you're Knuckles and you're gliding towards enemies, like I felt like some enemies I could kill, and then some enemies would just hurt me. And I'm like, I can't see the tell of anything on whether it's going to hurt me or not.
Trial and error, right?
And I don't know if putting an indicator like a blinking light like a lot of games do, which, whatever, that's very video gamey, but I don't know if that would have helped it at all or not. I'm not sure.
Now, I'm trying to think of I guess in my estimation, outside of visually just like having an enemy that has nothing but spikes all around them, if there's an enemy on screen, there should be really no reason why you can't hurt it, unless it's like gigantic and you're like, okay, clearly if I hit that, I'm just going to bounce off. So you remember that. That's the trial and error. But that is right. There is a lot of enemies in the game where it's like there's really no reason why you shouldn't be able to hurt the enemy the way that you think you'd be able to.
Maybe I'm just really bad and just couldn't do it, which is totally fine because you know how many times I died already on this game.
You're bringing up a point though that I was going over in my head and I thought about. I think my biggest issue with this game is it feels like a couple different games mashed together, and a lot of games that should work because you're like, hey, look at the variety. It doesn't feel like it quite connects because the Tails sections to me are so weak that it makes me, I kind of wish they would have taken all those out. Because can you imagine the pacing for this game if it was just the Knuckles, Shadow, and Sonic sections? Like, it feels like the game would have been really crisp. The clunkiness of the Tails sections, I feel like, really hurts this game.
Yeah, I mean, maybe some people think about that. The Knuckles, they think that slows it down, too.
Yeah.
I don't know if Adventure had different modes or if it was just straight Sonic. I don't know.
Well, and I guess the Knuckles sections themselves, that also puts into light, like, my only real reference for Sonic before was the 2D games and just going fast as quickly as I possibly can. And so having something where it's like, hey, I have a choice, I can turn around, that is a complete switch up in the flow.
Yes.
So I guess I wonder if that would be, if you could actually make like a Knuckles game, 3D game by itself, like what happens?
I did create one.
Oh, did they? Okay.
On the 32X or something like that. I can't remember. I don't know. I don't think it was a good game.
Compared 32X, what the heck is that? You gotta teach me. What?
It's a Sega system. Yeah, I think it was on 32X. I don't remember. God, I don't remember what the name of that game is. Like Knuckles Chaos something. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, it didn't work that well, but I could be wrong. There's probably diehard fans that love that game. Who knows?
I think most games there's always at least a diehard fan base.
Yeah, probably. Because people are weird. What do you feel about your first Sonic 3D adventure? After all that little discussion right there, how does it compare to the 2D versions? I mean, we kind of talked about that a little bit, but
I guess I would say I enjoy this when the speed works. I could see maybe where this is fun. I caught myself liking what I was seeing in the rail sections when I'm Sonic. I thought that was kind of cool. I thought like starting off on like the skateboard in the beginning. Yeah,
it's so weird.
It was weird.
It's definitely San Francisco, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Better Duluth. Anyways, the weird thing about this game for me was the portion that I thought that I would hate the most, because this season has shown me that I don't like those original 3D games, was the Knuckles section. So that kind of threw me for a loop.
I mean, this is one generation removed from, because I was N64 and PS1, so maybe they worked it out just a little bit.
But it's weird to me that that's the section I enjoyed the most. I think I maybe perhaps see the most potential either with that, or if the rail sections, maybe if I was just a better gamer. But I think if you could just clean up a couple of the controls on those rail sections, like I could really see like the fast-paced nature and like adrenaline kicking in. I can see it. I just didn't get it. So
yeah, and I felt like when we did the multiplayer, it's kind of jumping ahead, when we battled each other in multiplayer, that was one of my favorite things, was racing through that. It was frustrating, but it was fun, and it kept you on the edge. You're like, okay, I'm a little bit further than him.
Yeah, well, and the thing is I can never decide if this is the game that I'm having fun with or it's just like the co-op experience between the two of us. Because I remember it like laughing a lot while we were playing. And the ridiculousness of me, like I thought I was doing. I think it was the rail section one. I was actually ahead of you considerably for a while because you screwed up early on, and then I just crapped the bed like halfway through and got stuck on a couple sections, and then you ended up beating me. But that
forest level was
fun.
Too.
Yeah, the forest level was insane. So that was fun, and so that's why this game's so weird to me. Is like there are fun moments, and I had fun playing it. I think I mostly had fun playing it, experiencing it with somebody else. That would be my recommendation for it.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know how much time you'd waste on the battle. Waste is a weird word. I mean, it could be worth your time to waste it in that regard. But I don't know how busy that would keep you. I'm a little unsure. There is another mode, in the 3 arcs. In between levels, you can go to this Chow Garden and like feed these little cute little critters, and so that's then you can go to their school and their nursery, and like it's so weird.
There's a collection side thing,
and it's kind of cool and it's adorable seeing like Knuckles and her shadow hold this little tiny cute little thing. So look up them Chows.
Again, this game's so weird.
Exactly. I don't understand what they are. Maybe they're in Sonic Adventure. Maybe they're in the TV series. I have no idea, but I enjoyed that aspect because there's so much going on in this game.
Okay, so speaking to that point though, because there's so much going on, what does a Sonic game need to do for you? Like, because we're talking about all the ridiculous stuff that's going on in this game, like,
and I think I'd like that.
Yeah. So, but like, what is it like when you were like, okay, a new Sonic game's coming out? What are you looking for?
I have no idea. After playing this, I have no idea.
Like, do you even have like is nostalgia? Like, we talk about this all the time because we talk about a lot of older games. Nostalgia, does that play anything?
I don't think so. I mean, I have fond memories, like we said earlier, going to our neighbor's house and playing Sonic on the Genesis. I enjoyed that.
Oddly enough, the only really thing I remember is Echo, the dolphin game. That's like the memory I have with the Sega.
I remember playing it. It could have been with Kevin. Maybe it wasn't you. And
no, I remember it. It's just Echo.
There's like a dark forest level. I remember that specifically.
A dark forest level?
Yeah, it was like purpley and going underground and through trapdoors and stuff. And there's like spikes. So I don't. Whoever knows that level on Sonic Knuckles, let me know.
If someone picks up.
Yeah. No, I don't really have nostalgia for Sonic. I've never really liked Sonic games. I enjoyed this game for the most part. And I think the different pieces to the elements, like the story and stuff, God, let me tell you, this story is so weird.
Mike, I played it for 56 minutes, and I was like, what is going on?
But it's interesting because when you play the other side of the story, it kind of fills in pieces of why Sonic is arrested and all this stuff, and he's running away from people. It's so ridiculous. Okay, at some point, you race to find the president of the United States. And you jump into his limo with Tails. It's so weird.
Maybe that's how we should pick our presidents.
It's absurd. In my case, the best of ways. We talked about Streets of Rage 4, how you just jump off a skyscraper and it's like, you know what? It's just this game type. This has weird funkiness to it, and it has it all, and it's a lot of content. Not all of it works, but I don't know if that mars it for me as much as I thought it would. I can't decide. You get two different story sides and all this stuff, and
okay, you let me know if this is a criticism, but this is how I think about this game in my head. I had fun playing it. It's a fun memory. It's a fun, like the battle mode. Like I actually physically remember the game. Like, not that I played it that long ago, but I should be able to remember it. But I have no interest in ever going back to it. But I do see myself possibly like bringing our younger brother Kevin in and just watching him play the battle mode against us. Yeah. I think that would be fun. And to me, this is like a party game, which is weird because there's a story. And so the fact that there's a story and I don't have any interest in playing it is a weird one.
Yeah, that's why I don't know how to categorize it. Because, I could actually even see you getting together with one or two other people, maybe even three, and switching off on the single player levels just to beat it. I think that could be kind of fun too. Like, oh, you're better at the racing sections. You do Sonic levels. Okay, you want to collect everything? Go do that.
The thing that I also hate is the reason I did my intro the way that I did for this one is because I hate the soundtrack in this game, and yet it's stuck in my head, and I can't stop listening. Every time I hear it now, I start bopping.
There's some good beats in there.
Yeah.
Especially the knuckle levels.
The knuckle levels, yeah. But the rolling around at the speed of sound. I don't know. The first time I heard that, I was like, my goodness.
It is a very, I was going to say 90s. This is very early 2000s.
Yeah.
But Sonic Adventure on Dreamcast, that came out in 99. So, this is probably still early 2000s. But it has a feel. It has that cringiness, that weirdness, and it's just off the wall. You know, one thing to break it down, the Hero and Dark Story each took me around a little over 4 hours to complete, and that last section, I think it was 4 hours and 3.5 on Dark. I think I just got a little bit better as I went through the stories. And you can pick either one first, which I also think is cool. And the ending section, the last arc, took me about 2 hours. So you have enough content, plus you get the cute chows and the garden levels in between. Then there's the multiplayer. So there's enough cohesiveness that if you want to try out a bunch of different things and see if something sticks, that's good. Knowing that not everything worked for me specifically is kind of a mar on it too. So I keep going back and forth whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. They do break up the feeling, right?
Yeah. You know, the interview that you read talking about how they took a lot of all the different ideas they had in the first one, they kind of refined it. It kind of got me thinking, because one of the things I was going to ask you about was, first of all, did you watch the movie?
No.
Okay, I haven't either, which it doesn't help, I guess. But again, that shows I just don't have much of an interest. But I checked out.
The second one looks cool.
Yeah, well, it actually, even though it went through like the PR nightmare which actually I think kind of almost worked out for it in its favor.
Yeah.
It was actually quite successful, and so that made me wonder: first of all, do you think there's a translation between like people going and seeing it and wanting to play the video game? Which I don't necessarily think that's true. But it was clearly a success, which means there's enough people who would be interested in it. Do you think a higher budgeted Sonic game is something that would work well? And if so, like, what would it do? Would it focus more on Sonic? Would it do more with Knuckles? What do you think?
Okay, you asked me this question, I wrote something down, which is probably good.
Well, thank you for stating that.
So they announced the newest Sonic game, and it's called Sonic Frontiers. At the time of recording, we do not know. It's supposed to come out the end of this year, 2022. But I'll take a quote directly from the website. Accelerate to new heights and experience the thrill of high-velocity open zone freedom.
So, that was it. That makes me wonder. That reads hub world to me. Not open world, but like hub-based, where it's like there's bigger open levels. Maybe, I don't know why, I picture like a skateboard park when I hear that. With like Pokemon colored graphics. that's what pops into my head.
There's going to be a lot of greens because there's always a green hill zone, which is cool. Mm-hmm. You know, they got that going on.
Contrast the blue.
Yeah.
Did we play that in this?
Yeah, I was about to say, wait, did we? I know they have in the 2D ones.
I was literally, as you said that, I was like, well, wait a second. Nothing I played. But
I mean, there was some green, but yeah. I don't think it was called Green Hill Zone. Definitely not called Green Hill Zone. Actually, it could be. There's a lot of massive levels, so who knows?
Yeah. So that's interesting then, though. It'll be kind of curious to see. I'll be interested in paying attention. Maybe I won't play it, but how a game like that sells. Like, where are we at with Sonic nowadays?
That's the thing. I feel like when you talked about people going to see the new movie, how they transition the game, I don't know what game they would go to. Would they just go to the original Sonic games on like a collection that's on the Switch or the PS4, whatever it is? Or is there like, I can't even, the newest Sonic Colors remaster?
Yeah.
I don't know. I heard not great things about that port. I have the original Wii one. I'll probably play that one eventually.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. You know, the weird thing is we've done a lot of that this season now that I look back at it. There's a lot of like these franchises that I'm curious to see where they're at like another 5 years. Like we had Sonic, we had the Star Fox series, you got Mega Man, you have Bomberman. Like there's like these weird franchises that like they're not mega franchises. They're kind of just, I'm going to be curious to see like how many of them survive like the next decade. We have a lot of weird games like that this season where it's just there's these franchises that I almost feel like they live more in like Smash Brothers world that they do, and they're more popular there as characters than they are their actual games themselves.
Yeah, I hope this Sonic knocks out of the park, because here's the thing. Now, I don't know what route they're going to go, like you said, if it's going to break up into characters, because the Knuckles sections in this game really got me excited. From what I've seen of later Sonic games, none of them seem to do this, whatever this is. This conglomeration of everything.
Well, it does make me wonder then, to your point, are we the only two that even like the Knuckles sections?
Yeah, maybe.
That could be a very hated section in the game.
That's a good point, and we don't know. So I'm interested to see how this one turns out. And from what this game does and how it could evolve, knowing that this is considered one of the best ones, that means the later iterations didn't do what they wanted. What route did they go? Did they just focus on Sonic? With an open world thing, I feel like Knuckles would be a really good fit, though. Open, or what do they say? Open zone freedom.
Yeah. Well, again, though, like for me, when I think Sonic, obviously you think speed. So it's got to be fast. But how do you make it?
I mean, I think if you're talking about traversing, and we were talking about this in the Mario one, an open world Mario game, and how to traverse. Sonic's going to be awesome at traversing. He's going to 100% tear through those levels.
Yeah. Which also performance is obviously hugely important in a game like that. To me, like I guess Sonic himself would actually be the reason why an open world game for him would work. You wouldn't have to figure out, okay, how do we get the player from point A to point B? No, Sonic solves that issue. Which could be really cool.
Yeah, I think this would be awesome. I think the movement of Sonic would be amazing in an open world or open zone.
I guess what I don't want them to do is focus. Like, and again, this is probably where, if you're a fan of the series, you want to see more of it. But I don't think they should focus on the story. I feel like it should be gameplay and collectability, and have like the DCBAS tiered awards you can get for completing zones or trials and things like that.
Challenges, yeah.
But yeah, like I want good gameplay, but again, I say that as that's what I would want. There's nothing about a Sonic game that's like, oh, can't wait for this announcement or this trailer. So yeah.
I'm intrigued by it, to be honest.
Okay.
So we'll see. Will I get it? Will it hit in 2022? I don't know. But I'm very curious about it, because I feel like if they nail it, I think it could be really, really good. It could be an ace in the hole, Just boom.
All right, yeah.
So let's move on to the quick bits continued, because I just got to bring up some story quotes.
Of course. So shout out to the hidden treasure digging minigame, by the way, which was just stupid.
It was kind of dumb multiplayer. We're just like, get closer, and you won.
It was so exact.
Yeah, it was very, very exact, which, precise in that regard is good.
I guess.
So this is a Sonic quote. Just a guy that loves adventure. I like that. It's very poignant. But Shadow to Sonic.
That is the most random thing.
I just like that. I don't know what it is. But Shadow says to Sonic, so you're not just a hedgehog. And I just laughed completely. I don't know why. I was like, this is so dumb. And then another classic from Sonic. What can I say? I die hard.
Ooh, it's like Bruce Willis.
Yeah, he dies hard. Yeah. So there you have it. So here's something to leave you with. Michael here. After playing this game and finishing it, even unsure where I stood on whether it was good or not, I went out and I bought another 3D Sonic game. Maybe I'm a glutton for some punishment, or maybe, just maybe, I thought this game was worth my time and wanted to see more of it. Time will tell.